Yo.
What up?
Good evening, everybody. Welcome in. Hello. Hi there. It is time to talk Dallas Cowboys playoff football, baby.
The playoffs.
Let's go. I am super hyped that we get to talk more football. As you know, I've started to get a little bit into the draft prospect watching and stuff like that, right? But I'm still locked in on the Cowboys season, so I'm excited that we get to keep rolling and talking more football. Yeah, that's a super fly jacket you rocking with tonight, Ty. That's new on the set. We like that. Extra fresh. I am Eli. This is Tyler to my right, and of course, our third and most important host, Bobblehead Deck, right here below me. Good evening, everybody. Let's talk a little bit about this matchup, Ty. So first, just to get into some quick roster updates. Not really a whole lot on either side with either team.
A lot
there.
of good news for both sides.
Yeah,
honestly.
right. Yeah, you're gonna get basically everybody back that we didn't have in week 18 against the Eagles. If you're a Dallas fan, right, you're gonna have Micah back. You're gonna have Diggs.
Yeah, Tyron's back.
Tyron's going to be back. Looks like J-Ron Curse is going to be back.
Yep.
I believe he was back in practice today for the first time finally.
Yep.
Jordan Lewis looks like he's going to be back.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if that's a good thing or not. I might want Kelvin Joseph to play anyway, but that's not the point.
He's available, though. He's available.
Yeah, and Jordan Lewis has been really good. He has been good this year. The whole secondary has been solid. So I'm certainly not hating on, not making that decision. No, Kelvin Joseph has just been good the couple weeks that he's got to play. Kelvin Joseph has looked every bit of that second round pick, with potential first round talent that a lot of people thought he had, when he came out in the draft. So
I feel that.
But Jay Lou's good. So yeah, a lot of good news on that side. 49ers, good news. Probably their most noticeable injury to watch throughout the week has been Trent Williams.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of their tackles. He was back at practice today. So it's looking like, by all accounts, Trent Williams will be available. Daniel right there, right on cue, right? Daniel said Trent Williams might be healthy too.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what it's looking like. These are actually going to be two fairly healthy teams going
into the running back too. They got their running back too.
Elijah Mitchell's going to be there this week.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, almost said Williams, but they and I mean they're gonna run it anyway. But they got one more set of legs back there to carry it, and he looked good. Before he was banged up a little bit. So
Elijah Mitchell's had a good season. That's a 6th round rookie, I think. They started over Trey Sermon. They drafted Trey Sermon, in the 2nd or 3rd round, something like that. And Sermon barely saw the field. Elijah Mitchell outplayed him wire to wire, week 1 to week 18, while he was healthy. So, that's definitely a big piece for them. Elijah Mitchell has been a really good piece of that running game all season long when he's been healthy and in the lineup. Yeah, Daniel, their run game scares me too, man. Absolutely. That run game is terrifying.
It's more their commitment to the run than their efficiency with their run that scares me.
Because I think the way they run too, right? The versatility.
Because they're gonna, they're gonna have multiple, action with it. It's just I think I saw that they average 30 attempts a game, which is by far, the most in the league. And they just look, we're gonna rock you to sleep, and then play action starts. Now, the good part for us is that Jimmy is the guy that's throwing the ball. But I definitely feel the concern there.
Stopping the run is definitely going to be super, super important in this game.
We're gonna get into that.
Different ways that they attack. So let's talk a little bit about the run game, but more so, let's talk a little bit about some of these matchups that you're seeing in the trenches.
Hey, man.
Talk to me.
That's a good segue, though, because, I put the notes in here that, before we started, It's not that there's, we keep thinking about the 49ers and their run game. When you look at their like efficiency numbers, it's not a good year for their run game. It's not. But they are so committed to it. And I think that is the part that is more scary because, as we've seen, the creativity out of their run game is just, that's the signature. And there are going to be a couple of times where, they can scheme open a good shot, can we stop that run? I don't know if we're going to discourage them from running the ball unless we just score a lot quickly.
I just don't want them to go for 22 carries, 150 yards, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I don't want.
Yeah.
They can run it 30 times if they want.
Exactly.
I just don't want them to go for 200
It needs to be
yards.
that needs to be like 105 yards maybe on those 30 carries,
Quick practice update. Keanu Neal was a do not practice still today. So that linebacking core could be a little bit thin. We'll see what that looks like. Sorry.
Okay.
Just dropped
No.
Just dropped.
Good update.
Keanu Neal, maybe a guy we're missing on Sunday.
We had talked about it too with the injury updates. Both left tackles are coming back. Are they 100%? Tyron's ankle is still nagging.
Tyron's certainly not.
Right.
I promise you.
He's not. But
I don't think Trent Williams is either.
He's not.
Today was his first day of practice.
Now, would I rather have an ankle or an elbow? No, neither, because they need all their body parts to do what they're doing.
I'd rather everything function properly.
Man, but I want to say Trent has a harder matchup, right? Trying to block Gregory than Tyron does having to block Armstead. I'm not trying to disrespect Eric Armstead. He's just, I think Gregory's, a little bit more of a problem. But
in Armstead, I think you're probably going to see more inside.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about him lining up over like a Connor Williams, right? That's my concern. Armstead versus
because I looked and they got him listed on the end, but I didn't see much that was like,
they'll slide him around. They'll slide Bosa a little bit too. I think you'll see Bosa on Collins more probably.
Oh yeah.
Armstead on the inside does kind of worry me a little bit if they move him around and slide him in like they've done in the past.
No, you will. I think when you talk about them sliding around on the front too, right? It's that 4-man front, right? Like, can we block the 4-man front, see when, and not get confused, right? Because I think we saw, in the Cardinals game where we had a little bit of, there's 6 people on the line, there's 7 people on the line, 4 came, but we didn't identify the right 4, or 5 came, we still blocking with 6, but we didn't identify it, and somebody is loose. This is going to be one of those games where, like, can we just block the front 4, and can we, they're not really giving up run, yards. It's 4 yards a carry on a good day.
Yeah.
And over the last month, they've been giving up closer to 3.
So they're basically giving up what we've been averaging, right?
Right. And, this
not a good recipe.
It sounds like this is more of a Buccaneers game plan, right? I want to get the ball out quick. I want to maybe use the short passing game to extend the run, because I really don't want to run, right at their front either. But we do have to find a way to make them pay, and take advantage of the matchups near the line of scrimmage. You mentioned the Collins Bosa matchup.
Yeah.
I also, think, just, are we going to give any help there? We got both tight ends back with Jarwin and Schultz. Are we going to give any help there? Are we going to chip a little? Obviously, we know Zeke's a good blocking running back, but they're not going to blitz a whole bunch. I mean, they're just not going to, right? So are we going to put anybody near the line or near the end, to help with Bosa? That'll be interesting to watch.
Do you think Collins needs help with Bosa?
I don't know, but like, it feels weird to say we're just not gonna help for Nick Boat. That like I hear that name and I'm like, nah, call
Um,
everybody.
but don't you think of Lyle Collins when he's healthy is kind of one of those, especially in the passing game,
He,
right?
I mean, yes,
Maybe not so much in the run blocking, but in the passing game, right? Like that dude is a mauler, right?
man, let's just see. Let's just see. I hope
I'm
so.
hopeful, right? Because
Right?
what I would really like to do against a four-man rush is not have to chip, right? Let my offensive line block it up because some of those routes are gonna have to be more long developing to get through those different zone defenses, and right.
Yeah.
So if my tight end is chipping and then running his route, I think if it comes to where we have to, which we might, right? We have seen the Cowboys
Hopefully
offensive
not.
line
But
get beat
yes.
against a
Uh-huh.
four-man rush, and the
Uh-huh.
49ers are one of the best in the business at it. But I am hopeful that we get Tyron back. He's feeling all right, right? He is a
Mm-hmm.
healthy game. So we
Mm-hmm.
really have our full five, right? LC feels good. We got Martin, Biotish, Connor Williams. Hopefully they can, tag team Armstead when he's inside. But really hopeful that we don't have to bring a guy in to chip on a four-man rush situation.
I
That just really
certainly
limits
hope
what we
not,
can do.
because even though it's not the trench, matchup,
Mm-hmm.
I think that second level, the passing game. I'm sure we'll get to that, but the passing game is where they're really susceptible. Of course, their secondary is susceptible, but that second level too, right? And if we're not having, to your point, if we're not having to send tight ends for help, we know Dak loves a good middle of the field tight end
Mm-hmm.
route,
Mm-hmm.
and that
Mm-hmm.
should be available all day.
Yeah.
As long as we're not having to scramble to block four dudes. So I give a slight advantage to the Cowboys. Okay. A slight advantage. Um, I think we have the depth on our defensive line to contend, with their determination to run. And also to be able to stop them. We got some edge setters, some guys that like to come up and hit
Yeah.
and stop the run. So I give the slight advantage to Dallas, but definitely some things to watch. And like I said, it's the red flag for me is, are they getting home on four mans?
Mm-hmm.
Are we
Mm-hmm.
getting confused? And are we just running into, 2 yards in a cloud of dust and letting them, just pound us, into
Yeah.
submission, and we're just punting the ball away? That's
Mm-hmm.
going to be the red flags for me.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that those are the red flags for just about everybody, right?
Yeah.
You talk about this run game. One guy that I think that can really help out in that area, and we'll talk about him as part of a matchup here in a minute too. I wonder if this is a game where we see a lot more off-ball, like standard off-ball linebacker play for Micah.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think we still see him get to the passer a lot, right? But maybe it's more through the mid blitzes coming off the edge as an extra blitzer. I think that we're going to need that sideline to sideline speed, right? The 49ers, they do so much out of the backfield, and it's not, run the ball 30 times right up the middle,
Mm-mm.
A gap, B gap, right? They're bouncing it to the outside with their
Yep.
running backs.
Left
They're
zone,
lining up
right
Debo
zone.
Samuel in the background,
Count.
right?
Yeah.
Or in the
Yeah.
backfield. They're doing motions, they're
Yep.
doing
It's
jet
jet
sweeps, end
handoffs.
arounds,
Yeah.
right?
It's everything, bro.
They're all over the place
Toss.
with their run game. I
Yeah.
think you might want a guy like Micah Parsons, who is probably the fastest player on the field at any given
Mm-hmm.
time, sideline to sideline,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think you might want him off ball a little bit more for that reason. And then another reason, and our first matchup to watch that we'll look at outside of the trenches here is going to be how the Cowboys are going to match up against Debo Samuel, a
Stop
guy that
tripping,
I just
Debo.
mentioned. Man, Debo, that dude
Stop
coming out of the
tripping, Debo.
backfield as a split out wide receiver, as a slot wide receiver. The
Yo, I'm
guy
a
could
big
probably
fan of
play
this
tight
dude's
end,
game,
snap
bro.
the ball. Yeah, Debo has a great name. Debo Samuel just sounds like a ball player.
Yeah. I mean his game, just his game is so good. I hate that, I gotta wish for his downfall
Yeah,
this week
no.
because he is a really good football player.
No, if
But
you
you're right
remember,
though.
he was one of the receivers I was pining for that year in the
Yeah.
draft. Like, yo, let me find a way to get Debo to the Cowboys, please. I want
You're
him
right
there.
though.
I want him there.
We can't. He's not a traditional skill player by any means. You can't just shadow him. Gotta have an
Yeah, like
all
Diggs
around
can't cover
team
him every
scheme.
snap. It's just not
Yeah,
going to happen. There's no way.
yeah.
He even made a joke. He was talking about it in like a press conference today or yesterday, and they were kind of asking Diggs how he was gonna, if he was gonna shadow with Debo, and he being kind of non-committal, right? We're not going to give away the game plan or whatever. But they kind of asked him what happens if he lines up in the backfield, and he just kind of, I don't know, maybe I'll play linebacker, right?
Yeah,
Trayvon Diggs
right.
lining up at linebacker.
Yeah,
So
right.
I don't think we're gonna see, maybe when he's split out, we're gonna see Diggs, go where he goes. But when he's in the backfield, I think that's gonna be a situation where ideally I have Micah off ball, right? And
Yeah.
that's his man. Maybe J-Ron Curse, Donovan Wilson, Malik Hooker, one of those guys, come down into the box if Micah's, on the edge rushing.
Yeah, that'll be
Maybe
key.
like a Leighton or Keanu Neal if Keanu Neal plays, right? But I don't really love
No,
those
please, God,
matchups.
no.
Right. Yeah, right. Like I don't
No, no, no,
love
no,
those
no, 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 no,
matchups.
no, no, no.
So I think you're gonna really want to
No.
look at Micah Parsons, to kind of help with that.
I
And
want it to
man,
be Micah's main responsibility and safety J-Ron
whatever's
combos
going on in the
on
backfield,
Kittle.
you just take care of that.
Yeah, bro, do not
Follow the backfield.
55, you watch him. Hell no, give me a
Yeah.
timeout right
Yeah.
then.
They're going 5 wide, Micah, you're rushing this down.
Yeah.
There's somebody in the backfield, Micah, just hang back.
Give that, yeah, bro.
Run sideline to sideline. See ball, hit ball like the water boy, right? It's like he said in his first interview. Yeah, but so Debo, and even just outside of like where he's gonna line up, right? The
Yeah.
things that Debo Samuel does when he has the ball, that
Mhm.
probably scares me more than anything. Because especially like if a guy like Trayvon Diggs is on him, right? Trayvon Diggs is one of those guys that may or may not make some business decisions every now and then when it comes to tackling,
Business
right?
decisions are not as
And
hard to tackle Debo.
you can't make business decisions when it comes to Debo Samuel, bro. You can't because he'll
He's
run you over. He'll run by you. He'll run through you.
he's too
Arm tackles
fast.
don't work.
Right.
Stripping the ball out doesn't work.
He's
Punching it out
got
doesn't work.
that like Alvin Kamara, Saquon
Mm-hmm.
balance, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna just push him over, or he's not just gonna lose balance. Homeboy got that
Mm-hmm.
sneaky speed, right? Like Chubb, right? People don't think of Chubb, but like when he gets, Chubb or Henry, when they get past you, they're gone. I mean, everything about him, right, is like, man, please make the play before he catches
Right.
the ball, bro.
Right.
Please.
Right. Right. And if he does catch the ball, just take
Please.
him down. Right. Like just get him to the ground. Don't try to strip it. Don't. We don't need any of the cute stuff, right? Like just get him to the ground.
But they're gonna have a couple. They're going to get it into his hands a couple times, even with the best defensive schemes. So what you're saying is so true. We got to see it. Know they're gonna get it in his hands and just 2-3 white jerseys rally around him and pray to God he doesn't do some Debo Samuel magic.
Keep Kazee or Hooker up over the top, safety net. That's okay. He got 15 yards, but he didn't take it 50, right? Like that's I'm worried about that with Debo because he really does have that yak ability with that. His open field running is a problem. And again, it's what he does out of the backfield, right? You never know where he's going to line up. You don't know where he's going to be. He can get the ball from anywhere, right? He'll take it just like a running back. He'll run it between the tackles. He'll bounce it outside, right? Give it to him on the end around, whatever.
I think what you said is so true. He made one dude miss. He dragged another one and it was 12 yards.
Right.
Like that might be a win on that play, bro.
Great job, guys. Great job. Debo didn't take it for 40. Thanks. Appreciate everybody.
Oh,
good work, fellas.
It will. I'm really interested to see that because I know Parker's gonna take that challenge. And
so I think like run game in general, right, bothers me probably first and foremost. When it comes to controlling that, then it's controlling Debo, and then the next guy. And whatever order you want to put him in, right? Because I'm certainly not going to besmirch the name of, the great George Kittle. But George Kittle's the next guy on that list that you really got to watch. These two guys that we're talking about, they're the reason that Jimmy Garoppolo still has a job because he's trash. He's just lucky that he has Debo Samuel and George Kittle to bail him out because George Kittle is a problem. And he is one of your few elite all-around tight ends left.
Right.
He can run block, put him in line, split him out, put him in the slot.
It's the play
downfield,
action.
short
It's the
field, whatever
play
you want.
action.
Right. Yeah. I
It's the
mean,
play action
George
because
Kittle
he's
is a
such an
monster.
elite blocker that
Monster.
even when you're sitting there the whole game, they might remind you every series, do not get beat on the
Mm-hmm.
play action with Kittle.
Mm-hmm.
But he
Mm-hmm.
is such an elite run blocker that you cannot he's so good at what he does. He going, get you that block. It's going to look the exact same as been all
Mm-hmm.
game. You're going to be trying to fight it off, get in the backfield, and all of a sudden Kittle is 10 yards behind you and you can't catch him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is
George Kittle is a
huge
problem.
problem. Now,
He is a
this
problem.
is, we've been singing some J-Ron Curse praises this season. This is the game
Time
where
to
it's
get that
like,
contract extension,
bro,
baby.
if you want that money,
Get
this
that
is the
contract
game right here.
extension.
Because yes, he is big enough. He is
Mm-hmm.
athletic enough. Now, should he be guarding one-on-one? No. I mean,
Right.
he's
I'm a
probably
little bit
gonna have
worried
some
about
help,
that.
right?
Like, I don't want J-Ron Curse carrying Kittle 25 yards down
No.
the field. That's
No.
not going to go well.
But is he good enough to play that, tight underneath with that safety help?
Mm-hmm.
Or break on some of those quick, routes just because they study the film and he can, minimize that impact. Yeah, that's
Make him
what
work
you're
a little
looking
bit to
for.
block on the edge or
I
something like
mean,
that.
it's very possible, right, that you beat this team, but Kittle and Samuel still have very good days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
for the record, I think that will happen.
There's probably,
I don't think we're going to
we're still,
contain.
you talk about 7 for 95 and a touchdown.
Right,
I mean,
right. Like,
okay.
I think Kittle and Debo are still going to have good days, right? Debo's going to get, 20, 30, 40 rushing yards.
Yeah.
He's going to get
80.
another 60 to 80 receiving yards.
Yeah.
Kittle's going to get
score
70 yards and a touchdown,
Yeah,
right?
they both score.
But as long as, again, right, we're talking about as long as they're not going like, Debo
Dummy.
goes for 60 yards rushing and 100 yards receiving, and George Kittle has one of those 12 for 97, 12 for 124.
Yeah, like touchdowns. That's what I was about to say. 12 for like 135.
I don't want to do any of that, right? Like, I don't want to do any of that.
Nah.
Because if they're clicking like that, if they're getting them the ball like that, no thanks, man.
Yeah.
No thanks, right? Between those two guys, if you give them like 30 touches and they get, 250 yards, that's terrifying.
Yeah. But that's
terrifying.
That is definitely, some stuff to watch, there.
Let's see here. Coop got a comment about and I agree with this, right? So Coop talking about Curse is coming off a gimp hammy. We all know about the soft tissue injuries. Definitely wouldn't count on him against Kittle. Zone it up and let him. Yeah, zone it up. Let him march the field. Don't let him score a touchdown. They won't zone it up because Dan Quinn hasn't done that all year. We're still going to run, man. But it'll be a lot of like that 2-man, right? So that bracket situation that we're talking about. Curse probably play like the underneath man with the safety help over the top. And another guy I think you'll probably see there is Donovan Wilson, right? Probably see Dono in there a little bit. I just really hope another guy you might see, depending on the alignment, is going to be Jordan Lewis. Jordan Lewis is too small to cover George Kittle. Please
don't
Dallas, don't let that happen on a regular basis. But he plays the slot, right? That's the thing. He plays the slot. Jordan Lewis is your slot corner.
I guess we need to see going into the
matchup there.
But they were saying that there is little to no soreness with his hamstring. Now we know when I think of hamstring, I think of Sean Lee always trying to go back out there and do it, and Miles Austin and all of that, right? So like
Sean Lee,
it is a nagging injury. I feel that. But yeah, I think as long as he's good to go, I like him better than the other options.
I think the idea of kind of bracketing, like I said, they won't zone up the whole defense, but maybe using KZ or Hooker as like some over the top help on some of those routes. Probably a pretty good choice there. Before we move on and talk about some of these offensive matchups, quick question. I've heard this a lot throughout the last week or so. And y'all in the chats, let me know your thoughts here too. There's been a lot of talk about physicality, right? And we've talked a lot about the run game, the trench game, They're going to commit to running it 30 times. Kittle's going to beat you up. Debo can run you over. Is the Cowboys defense up to the challenge? Are they physical enough, or are we making too much of this in the media? Are we hearing too much of this talk about, the 49ers are so physical, Dallas is a finesse team? Are we going to get out physicaled in this game?
When you talk about like it's been in the it's been in the media,
Nonstop.
one of the things that comes around in playoff football, right, is like it starts coming back that like if you can run the ball and you can impose your will, you're gonna win.
Right.
I think that's more cliche than like what's actually gonna happen. These are the Dallas defense just played a really great season, okay, and like I mean maybe not a great example because the Eagles at the end of the season, even though they were a top rushing team, that last game they didn't really play their starters. I mean, Denver was a game where you were like, oh man, they're just running the ball when they want.
Yeah, we let Teddy throw for like 250 on us in that game.
Yeah, too, I cannot remember. I think in the Chargers game, Eckler was moving the ball pretty well. Their run game was. But I'm not sold on the idea that somehow we're just going to get beat up, on defense, or that the 49ers are just so physical, right? Because if they were, then their efficiency numbers would be way better. If they were just out there mauling all their opponents, those 30 rushing attempts, they would be dominating, right? The efficiency stats on top of that. Now, I think more of when they say they're physical, I think what more people are leaning on is that they are so committed to running the ball that at the end of the games, right? And I think you saw that in the last week that they played, or the last couple of games they played, is that in that third and fourth quarter, maybe they have some of those defenses worn down that don't have, a lot of depth, on their defensive line. And then, that 6-yard run is turning into 30 and 40. And they're, being more. So, I mean, are they persistent, with that? Yeah, because the thing now is to throw the ball. And I mean, you should throw the ball, right? It's typically more efficient than running in every instance. But I'm not buying they're just more physical than the Cowboys. And I mean, sure, line it up if they really believe that. We've got the depth. They're gonna get smacked, bro.
Line it up.
I don't. I'm not buying that. I've heard it, but I'm just not buying it.
There's been a lot of talk about that, this week. Coop looks like he agrees with you. All media talk, unless it comes down to a single possession, then fatigue comes into play. And I do think, there's definitely an aspect, right? Because you see it in games. I mean, even, man, watching the national championship Monday night, you watch Georgia just finally wear Alabama down by the end of that game, right?
Yeah, boy.
They did out physical that team. And I think you see that in football, late in the game. But I think a lot of that comes down to, yes, the 49ers commitment to the run game, but there's still a success element there too, right? And I'm sorry, you can run it 30 times, but if this offense is doing what it's supposed to be doing on the Dallas side, Jimmy Garoppolo is not good enough to keep up with you.
Exactly.
Like the 49ers just not good enough to keep up with you. Oh, Coop, I'm really happy for you, man. Georgia won you $200. I'm just happy Georgia won, in general, honestly. I'm tired of Nick Saban winning things.
I saw. Listen, on a quick note, I saw this thing that was like Georgia gave hope to all the other schools that have 40 5-star recruits on their roster.
Right,
as well.
Right. Once every 3 years, somebody comes in and a light shines through for the rest of college
Yeah,
football,
bro,
right?
stop it, stop it. I mean, they're both juggernauts. Of course, Georgia was gonna win one with all that
Man,
recruiting.
eventually, right?
Yeah,
Eventually.
yeah.
But yeah, I think I kind of tend to lean your way. I mean, there is an element of that physicality that worries me a little bit. I don't know that your defensive line is really built to defend the run.
Uh-huh.
Um, Outside of DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy
Uh-huh.
Gregory's an average run defender,
Uh-huh.
right? Your three techs, whoever you're rolling out, Osa, Neville,
Yeah.
Tristan,
Walker.
not great run defenders,
Yeah.
right? Your big man in the middle, Quentin Bohanna, is a 6th-round rookie,
Yeah.
right? Like there's not really on that front, But I also think that that's where we talk about Micah.
Uh-huh.
Where I think he can come into play if he can get that sideline to sideline, defend that outside run. Bring some of those dudes like Curse and Dono up to the line, especially
Uh-huh.
when you got Kittle in line.
Uh-huh.
Set that edge because that's where they're trying to get to.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not even so much. It's not even so much the physicality when it comes to the run game. It's setting the edge, and I
Mm-hmm.
guess maybe there's a physicality aspect to that. But to me, it's more just about can I get to the point of attack before you do,
Yeah.
right? Because that edge man doesn't have to make the play. I just need to turn it inside.
Yeah.
That's a win. If J-Ron Curse can get George Kittle, to where he can't get him to seal that outside edge and that play bounces inside, that's okay. I don't need him to get through George Kittle. I just need him
Mm-hmm.
to bounce that play back inside, right? Funnel
Mm-hmm.
it to D-Law, funnel it to Randy, funnel it to Micah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know that I lean too much into the physicality conversation. I think the Cowboys are plenty physical. I think Micah Parsons would argue that with you. I think Randy Gregory would have something to say about that. I think Kirsten Wilson have something there. Oh, we lost Tyler for just a second, but we gonna keep rolling. We got some talk. Daniel said his neighbor's a Bama fan. Nothing would make him happier than a Cowboys playoff run and a Bama loss. Yeah, no, I love that. I'm right there with you, right? Let me get that Bama loss. Appreciate that. Check that one off. Now let me get a Cowboys win. Josh said Bama has the ugliest jerseys. Yeah, Daniel,
Yeah.
they need Oregon's jersey people to fix
Yeah.
them. Those
$billion
Oregon jerseys are
school.
fuego.
And y'all
Fuego.
got the
Right.
1931
Maroon and
merino.
white. We'll put a stripe right here.
Yeah, laundry day editions.
Awesome. Super dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dig it. Cool. Let's talk about some of these matchups on the offensive side of the ball for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Couple things that we've kind of mentioned a little bit already, but just to highlight them a little bit more. One of the things that I'm really looking at, and something that we've talked about really the whole second half of the season, is what Dak in this passing game looks like against a 4-man rush.
He can't do it.
Yeah, right.
Just play coverage.
The offense hasn't been as good, right? The offense
Just play
hasn't been
coverage.
good.
He's not good.
The offense hasn't been as good against 4-man rushes with the teams dropping 7. And here's the bad news. You want the good news or the bad news first? I'm going to give you the bad news first. I don't really want your opinion. Yeah, I want the bad news first. I'm going to give you the bad news
Thank you for
first.
asking for nothing.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely want to make sure that we're always, this is a partnership, right? Two-way conversations. Everybody's opinion matters.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
Except, everyone's.
Right. Mine just matters a little bit more at the end of the day.
Got it.
The bad news first. The bad news. The 49ers are one of the best teams in the league when it comes to quarterback pressure when they rush 4 or fewer. They are the number 3 team in the league when it comes to quarterback pressure when rushing 4 or fewer. So that sounds like right off bat, right? That's what Denver told everybody they needed to do to beat the Cowboys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rush 4, drop 7, play cover 2 shell. Uh-oh. And like you said, Dak can't do it, right?
He can't see the
Yep.
He can't see.
Everybody in the chat, you guys think Dak can't do it? I already know. I don't even need to take a poll.
Defense.
Think Dak can't do it? We've even talked about that, right? Man, is he getting kind of confused with some of these
we posed
looks?
the question.
Does he know where to put the ball?
We did. We posed the question.
Well, I have some interesting information to share with everybody. Everybody knows how I love my stats.
Okay, football Maury, let's do it.
I have more stats.
According to the test.
The stats say
Yeah.
1, Dakota Prescott leads the NFL
Oh,
in completion percentage when he sees a 4-man or fewer rush. Dak Prescott is completing 73% of his passes when he sees a 4-man rush. Oh, but Eli, come on. That's because he's just throwing short
he's
passes,
just
right?
checking it
Yeah,
down.
he's checking it down. He's getting it to Tony
He
Pollard in the
can't throw it
backfield.
down
He's
the
throwing a
field.
screen to Zeke, right? Little stick play to Dalton Schultz.
We can't push the ball down the field.
Well, let me tell you something. Dak Prescott also is number 5 in the league when it comes to yards per attempt against a 4-man rush at 7.7 yards per attempt. When Dakota Prescott throws the ball against a 4-man rush, he gets 8 yards per attempt, not per completion, per attempt. He's getting a first down almost every time he throws the ball against a 4-man rush. And just for a little icing on the cake for everybody here, he is third in the league.
I don't think Coop likes the cake, but please keep
third in the league in total quarterback rating against the 4-man rush with a 100.9 quarterback rating against the 4-man rush. So I pose to you this question, Tyler.
Okay.
We have a battle of clear strength against strength.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott is undoubtedly, undeniably, irrefutably, irrevocably a top 5 quarterback against the 4-man rush.
Yeah.
The San Francisco 49ers, I suppose, are a top 5 defense against quarterbacks when it comes to rushing with 4.
Yeah.
Who gets the win here?
Let me borrow.
It's a great setup, right?
Let me borrow some wisdom from my man Daniel Garcia in the chat. Will you put up that comment he's got?
Which one?
Where it says that's because yak. Yeah. Now, strength on strength, right? But when we look at what's going to happen or what's the recipe, I agree with Daniel right here, right? It's the yak. Can we get the ball into a healthy Tony Pollard's hands? We're gonna have to let Coop get his. We're gonna have to let Coop get his. Get it off.
I want him to. I want him to.
Can we get those intermediate passes? I know it's getting lit. Can we get those intermediate passes? Can we get that short passing game? Can we get the ball in the CD's hands, in the Sed's hands, in the Pollard's hands, and really make them pay? On those 4 or the 4-man fronts and try to change that defense, right? Start trying to get them out of that look or doing something that they're uncomfortable doing. So strength on strength, but we're going to have to rely on, the playmakers making plays and getting that yak. That's going to be the recipe. So no, I agree with Daniel there. But yeah, let Coop get a little bit of shine. Let that boy put them comments up there.
Let's talk about it, Josh. Let's talk about
it. And Juan is patronizing me, but okay.
That's fine.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about it, Josh. Josh wants to talk about these errant passes when our team needed them the most. Not a third and oops for Dak once again. Not a third and oops.
Oh, come on, man.
Yes, I am always on a Dak rant, Ebony.
Yeah, I mean, all you need is an opportunity.
Let's talk about it, right? I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to. Dak Prescott is accurate. Is it your birthday, Coop? Happy birthday, Coop. I didn't know that.
Stop the show. Stop
Happy
the
birthday,
show.
fam.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Cool. Happy birthday. Dak is accurate on over 75% of his passes. Now, let me just break that down for everybody who doesn't understand how percentages work, right?
Yeah, please. Explain that.
If I'm accurate on 75% of my passes, which by the way is considered like elite level in league standing, just so everybody understands that, right? Like it's more accurate than Patrick Mahomes, about 1% less accurate than Aaron Rodgers. 75% in terms of real numbers. If I throw 40 passes in a game, 75% of those passes would be how many? 30, correct? So that means at an elite level of accuracy, I can bank on my quarterback missing about 7 to 10 throws a game. He's going to miss them. Everybody in the league misses them. The idea that Dak Prescott is the only person who has a third down pass that goes over a receiver head is ridiculous. He's one of the most accurate throwers in the league, period, tested, proven. It's done. But that still means that he's an imperfect quarterback. There is not a quarterback out there that's accurate 100% of the time. It doesn't exist. It's not a thing, guys. You got to think about this in real numbers. Temper those expectations a little bit. It's silly. It's silliness. Silly.
Now
silly.
That silly. You have told everyone how wrong they are about their percentages. Would anyone like to reconsider their Dak stance?
Daniel says that he dumps it off. That's why he's accurate. But, he had 250 targets to his top 2 wide receivers this year. I guess Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb were just catching the ball at the line of scrimmage all year.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, buddy. Okay.
The 7 to 10 he misses just always on third down. Can't wait to see those.
It's just not true. It's not true. It's just not accurate. It's just that's really, if y'all haven't noticed this by this point, what really gets my blood boiling with these conversations, not about Dak, just about anything, right? Is when we just say things because it's what we think. I look up the numbers for everything that I say. Your eyes aren't perfect.
Oh, God.
Your eyes aren't perfect. Zeke is not a beast, Ebony. Zeke is the second best running back on this team. And that's also a fact. But we're not going to get into that. We are going to talk about the Cowboys wide receivers versus the 49ers secondary. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Talk about another Cowboy strength against a weakness for the 49ers.
And I mean, this is it. That's only 7 targets per receiver.
Yeah, but then you're going to get 5 to CD. You're going to get like 8 to Schultz. You're going to get 3 to Zeke. You're going to get 2 to Pollard. Like, that's still 40 passes. Like, why is that a problem? Like, I have to give the ball to Coop and CD 15 times in a game? I don't think that's a problem. I like that he spreads the ball around, actually. Zeke is not the number one. Oh, my God, he's not. He's not. The only thing that Zeke is better than Tony Pollard at is pass blocking, and teams don't blitz us anymore.
That's it.
Teams don't blitz.
That's it.
Tony Pollard is better running the ball. He's better catching the ball. He gets more yards. He breaks more tackles. He gets better yak yards. He's better. He's better. He's better. He's better. He's better. Talk to me about this secondary. Where do we have a good matchup here? I think we got a pretty clear-cut win here. Receivers versus secondary.
Yeah, I mean, this is, when you talk about like what is the
Juan just in here trolling.
I know. When you talk about this, like this is definitely the worst part of their team by far. They give up so they definitely give up the long completions. What'd you say that tweet by Bobby Belt had that stat that on 3rd and 8 or longer, or 3rd and 9 or longer, that they're giving up 52% conversion rate on that? You're muted.
Perfect timing. No, I'm sorry. I was Emery FaceTime me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, that's 50.
Yeah, so 50. I got
right?
you. Yeah, okay. I got you. So, 49ers are allowing a conversion on 3rd and 9 or longer.
Yeah, 3rd and 9.
52% of the time over the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
52% of the time on a 10-yard conversion. That's
Mhm.
insane.
And they
That's
also
insane.
are like the worst, right? They get flagged the most for DPI,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So like,
Yeah. So the
um,
52, the conversion, that's 8 percentage points worse than the next worst team, just for frame of reference. There's
yeah.
not another team that's above 45% when it comes to conversion allowed in there.
And like
Um,
all of the advanced, right? The EPA, the DVOA on the pass they're bad. They're in the
yeah.
bottom third of the league. It is, this is bad, right?
Yeah.
So, and this is our strength, right? We have three
Mm-hmm.
very
Mm-hmm.
good receivers, and good tight ends too to match up against the second level, and going up against their safeties as well. That'll have to shade and look at those guys. I mean, as long as there is not a complete breakdown with pass protection, we're gonna completely carve them up in the
Yeah.
secondary. Like,
I think
it's
so.
not even a question, and they will it just by their numbers. Even
Mm-hmm.
if we get in trouble, probably gonna convert. And
Right. They're going
if
to give us some
right,
back. They're going to
there,
give us some
yeah,
back.
and some of those where somebody gets turned loose, a CD, a said, a Jarwin that gets turned
Mm-hmm.
loose,
Mm-hmm.
that might be a DPI if it's not a touchdown.
Yeah.
So
They're good
I,
for at least one a game. They
yeah.
had 23 in the course of 17 games. They had 7
hmm
more DPI calls go against them
hmm
than any other team in the league.
Now I still think you don't want to just line up and say, I'm gonna run a go route here, or I'm going on the post, right? And we're just gonna run it at you, right? And yeah, let's go. I still think you want to be, decently creative with the way you're setting them up, because if you can get
Hey,
two
Noble.
two things. Oh my god. There's two things, right? You want early scoring, right? To put pressure on them to get out of their run game quickly, right? But then you also want that short passing game to be there so that the discipline on the back line is just a little worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
If my corner
Mm-hmm.
is thinking about, oh man, I got to keep coming up because they're getting past that first level and I'm making a tackle, or the safety's peeking in the backfield all the time, because we're running decently enough, or our play action game is effective. That's where then they'll really get busted up. But I have full confidence that the passing game will put up big numbers. The only reservation there is if for some reason we uncharacteristically turn the ball over in the air there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, and scroll back up to some of these here. Couple astute points made in the chat.
Yeah,
Juan, I agree with this 100%,
straight
right?
up.
If we're going to beat the 49ers, it's going to be the passing game. The running
hmm
game just hasn't been there for us, right? We
this
haven't
ain't the
seen
week
it.
to get it going,
Uh,
bro.
yeah, and this is a good run defense, right? This really isn't the week that you can bank on. Let's get back up to 5.5 yards a carry. It's probably not going to happen unless you give the ball to Tony Pollard 20 times.
God, I wish Noble was here
Unless
the
unless you
whole
give the ball
show.
to, and then Daniel with the follow up to that. Yeah, we want to score early.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I
just what I
think
was
that's
talking
really
about, right?
important too, right? We talk about getting them off their, kind of off their rhythm, kind of
Exactly.
having to hamper the run game a little bit. One really good way to do that is to make them play from
Yep.
behind and let Jimmy G do what Jimmy G does. Juan, I hope that you do pray for Dak. That's really nice of you. That's a really sweet
I
sentiment.
just
It's a sweet sentiment. How lovely of you. I knew it. I knew there was a nice guy in there.
a solid dude. It's a solid dude.
So I think that about covers it as far as matchups, everything that we're looking at there. Let's man, Daniel, I don't care. If you okay, hang on. Hang on. Zeke is 58th all time in rushing yards, season away from top 50. Yep, he had 1,000 rushing yards this season, guys. It took him 17 games to do it, and he averaged about 50 yards a game. Who cares? Give it to him 400 times a season. He better have 1,000 yards. He better. It's
Did he have
ridiculous,
400
bro.
carries?
Not this year because they decided to play Tony Pollard. And guess what? Tony Pollard led the league in rushing yards per attempt. He didn't lead the Cowboys. He led the league in rushing yards per attempt. Why? Because he's the best running back on this team.
Can we at least say they have 2 good running backs?
They do. That is the terrible thing, right? Is that like this becomes a conversation about, Zeke is trash, right? Like I'm bashing Zeke. It's not Zeke's fault that his backup is better than him. It's not his fault. He's still a good player. Tony Pollard's better. We want to win a Super Bowl. Is that what we would like to do? Would you like the Cowboys to win a Super Bowl this year, Tyler?
I would.
Okay. Then let's play our best players. Daniel, I couldn't give a rat's rear end if Zeke passes Herschel Walker.
Oh, man.
Tyler, let's do some Cowboys win if, lose if. I'm going to let you go first because I need to regain my composure.
Clearly, you are all been out of shape, sir.
Man. Killing me. Numbers exist for a reason, guys. Stats are a thing for a reason. NFL teams use analytics. They don't use their eyes. Why is the eye test good enough for you?
I only trust my eyes.
Why? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Cowboys win if, lose if. Give me a prediction.
Cowboys are going to win. Score is going to be 34-20.
Ooh.
Okay. They're good. Cowboys are going to win.
Not doing it. Not doing it, bro. Not doing it.
The Cowboys, they're going to win for, 2 reasons. They're going to minimize the penalties. Okay. Mr. Statistic.
Yep.
I love it. One, Mr. Statistic.
Yep, that's me. That's me.
They're going to minimize the penalties and they're going to exploit the passing game matchups, right? They're going to find a way to make sure they block it up. Don't give up a bunch of sacks. Don't get pressured a ton. And they're going to win, but it's going to be the minimization of those penalties because the Cowboys are a better team than the 49ers. They're just not going to shoot themselves in the foot. They're going to take care of the ball. They're not going to hold on 3rd down. They're not going to give up DPI, and just move the ball down the field. They're going to play good, disciplined football. They lose, though, if the opposite of that happens, right? We are penalized. And I think for us, too, on defense is if we get lulled to sleep and start getting gashed with the play action, right? We're giving up 25, 30 yards at a time, and we're just not understanding where, okay, what are they doing? They're in a good rhythm. We're not attacking, we're reacting. Then we're gonna lose. But I gotta win 34-20. I think too many things.
That's a comfortable win. 2 touchdown win.
Yeah. Because our offense is going
I don't know that I feel that good about
it. Man. Because our offense is definitely going to put up points against that weak secondary. And we are going to give up some touchdowns, but we're going to stop a few drives too. They'll score 4 times, 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals.
Fair enough. 14-point win would be awesome. That'd be a big confidence boost. If you go out and take the 49ers out 34-20,
man.
Rolling into the second round, that would be solid. Let's see here. I saw one comment that I wanted to call out real quick from Paul. I think Paul's new on the show. New to comment anyway. Welcome, homie. So it seems every week they say the way to beat the 49ers is to force Jimmy G to throw, but somehow the dude is 715 win career percentage. It is strange, right? It's crazy to think that like a bad quarterback could win 70% of his games, but he's figured out a way to do it, right? I don't know. He threw 2 interceptions in the first half of that game against the Rams last week. He's just lucky that his running game and his defense held him around long enough for him to make like 3 good throws. I've said this before. Jimmy Garoppolo is what everybody in this chat pretends that Dak is. Like what y'all think Dak is what Jimmy Garoppolo actually is. So maybe y'all aren't as confident about this because you think they're basically the same quarterback.
Yeah. What percentage of wins is Dak at?
More than Garoppolo.
Isn't Dak is like the second winningest quarterback behind Brady since he entered the league.
Yeah, but stats are dumb. Stats don't mean anything.
Yeah, and I mean, even
Stats
if
are
he
stupid.
slipped from 2, he's not out of the top 3 or 4.
Stats are stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're dumb. Yep. His win percentage is better, but it's fine. I get to do my predictions now, right?
If you'd like, I mean, you could just go to war with every comment that comes through as well for the next 10, 15 minutes.
That's kind of my thing. I think that's kind of
a little bit of sarcasm. Sorry, he doesn't think stats are dumb.
Yeah, Aaron, I don't actually think stats are dumb. That's what I was
petulant.
told. I was told that in the chat that stats don't matter, because that's how I make all my arguments.
Why can't I show comments? I want to show the comments.
Which ones do you want to show? Just tell me. Which ones?
I just want to show all of Juan's comments as soon as they come through.
Oh, I don't want to show any of Juan's comments. Yeah, that's why I pick and choose. I moderate the chat myself. If y'all would like to see Juan's comment, tune in and click on the chat link in the video stream. They're there. I can't stop him from commenting. All right. Man. My Cowboys win, lose if. I think the Cowboys win. If Daniel said the Eagles are beating the Bucks, that would be dope.
That's just wishful thinking.
The Cowboys win if they exploit the passing game, right? They exploit that weak secondary. Like we said, nobody's gotten more DPI calls than the 49ers defense, and the Cowboys have gotten the second most calls in their favor when it comes to DPI. Mm-hmm. Interesting how Dak Prescott can throw it behind the line of scrimmage every single time he passes, but his receivers have more DPIs than any other receiving core. Crazy. Moving forward, if they do that, if they can block up that 4-man rush, keep the pressure off of Dak long enough to find the open man, we are going to cut this secondary to shreds.
Yeah.
Cowboys will lose if we cannot contain the outside run game and if Deebo Samuel and George Kittle go bonkers. Those are the 3 things that I'm looking at there because I think that could happen in any game. So that's a really big thing for me on the defensive side of the ball. How are we going to scheme it up? Where's Micah going to be useful? I think this needs to be a big Micah Parsons game. This needs to be, 1 or 2 sacks coming up the middle, some edge plays, maybe some plays in coverage, right? He may have to pull out the whole tool belt from what we've seen this year.
Yeah.
So I think this needs to be a big Micah Parsons game. Daniel says the D-line needs to perform for 4 quarters, maybe 5. Yes, Ian, Daniel, I think I'm with you more that I think this is going to be a lot closer game. Tyler has them 34-20 Cowboys, pretty confident win there, pretty comfortable win. I think I'm going to put mine more like 31-26, 31-27, somewhere in there. That's going to be, what is that? Yeah, 31-27. That's right. Yeah, 31-27. My math is good enough. We're here for it. Statistics don't matter, right? Daniel says his score 30-27. Yeah, so pretty close to where I'm at on there. Yeah, miss point. Okay, I actually was gonna say 30-27 because I wanted to factor in a miss PAT. That's the math that I was trying to do there on the spot. I think that we probably have to account for that. One thing on that, I don't know if we're gonna be kicking a whole lot of PATs. I'm not sure that we are. Yeah. Juan just gets permanently ignored.
I gotta get a shirt with statistics.
Yeah, right, I'm gonna get one that says Mr. Statistics, and I'm gonna wear it every single show.
Oh man,
my name is Mr. It's gonna be like a little hi. My name is Mr. Statistics right here. Yeah. I'm gonna get one of those.
Oh,
Coop says, "Let's go, Elijah Mitchell." Going to say he's going to be the best running back on the field that day.
He's going to get the most opportunities, that's for sure.
He certainly could be the most productive running back, especially if, we give the ball to Zeke 20 times. Aaron says, I feel like defense needs to be on. Offense needs to make sure to finish and not just end the drive on the damn 10-yard line.
Preach.
Yeah, right. Especially with a kicker that we're not 100% confident in, right? We cannot be, finishing – getting a 4th down hold or a 3rd down hold, a false start, right? Yep. And then we can't overcome it on 3rd and long.
7-minute drive, no points.
Yeah, right. Or 3 points, or no points with a missed kick, right?
Yeah,
no, man. I definitely feel like we got to go out and finish drives. But that's what I'm thinking the Cowboys are going to score 3, maybe 4 touchdowns. I'm looking at, I like Daniel's thought there, right? 4 touchdowns and a field goal, 30, 31 points, whether or not we think Legatron's going to miss a kick. But I think that could be an interesting element because, there's been talk this week about changing that game plan up a little bit. And I wonder if we're going to go for some of these. Hey, see, Aaron, my guy, right? Tony Pollard going to trash Elijah Mitchell even with less drives. No, the Zeke hate. Okay, it is, but it's only because y'all make me hate him.
That's what I'm saying. They're pushing you to be a villain that you're not even trying to be right now.
I'm really not, man. Like, Zeke is a good player.
Yeah, well, say it.
But he's a yard plus less efficient when running the ball than his backup. And he's like 3 yards less efficient after the catch than his backup. He's not a better rusher. He's not a better pass catcher. We're only getting 4 people blitzing at a time. So why do I need him in more of the time to pass block? I don't need him. Thank you. Aaron, tell him. Aaron, I got one voice of reason in here. One voice. Zeke is not bad. He's just not consistent. What is Marion Barber looking for? Okay, guys, I'm just going to end it on this thought, right? Because, we're at an hour. I could do this with y'all all night. The days of I need this battering ram running back. Pollard can't carry it 30 times.
No one said that.
I don't want Pollard to carry it 30 times. I don't want Zeke to carry it 30 times. I don't want Christian McCaffrey to carry it 30 times. I don't want Saquon Barkley to carry it 30 times. I don't care. What is Coop saying in here? Hold on. Coop says Dak's going to fumble, and then I'm going to say Zeke should have held the ball for Dak. And the stats show Dak shouldn't turn to his left to hand it off. Hey, y'all clown the stats all you want. Y'all clown the stats all you want. Oh,
man, I'm good.
Y'all clown the stats you want. All you want. Tell him, Juan. There you go, Juan. Ended on a high note. Statistics matter.
Oh, man.
That's the other shirt. I'm going to have one that's got a name tag that says Mr. Statistics. Then I'm going to have another one that says Statistics Matter across the chest.
Thoroughly first piece of anything for a bit merch. Statistics Matter.
Woo. That's good.
I'm getting them hats made this week.
That's a good show, everybody. That's a good show. Let's go out and get a Cowboys
your 10% royalties on that. I got you.
Yeah, Juan, for sure. We'll make sure that, we'll put like by J Diaz or something like that, and like fine. Put it in quotations, right? Statistics Matter, J Diaz at the bottom, so everybody knows that he said that. I love it.
Oh man, this is good.
All right. I think I'm good. I think I'm all talked out.
I hope
my face has gotten red at like 4 different times. Vein popping out of my neck over here.
No.
Y'all don't come to me and say anything when Dak Prescott and Tony Pollard win you a championship. That's all I got to say.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to hear it.
No,
I don't want to hear it.
It's
I don't want to hear it.
10%.
All right,
I got you, Juan. All right, y'all. Happy birthday, Coop. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. Talk to y'all later. Have a good night, peeps.